You are standing in the lobby of the George Bush Center for Intelligence. The air is sterile. It smells of floor wax and old secrets. You look at the wall on your left, the memorial wall, rows of black stars carved into the white marble. There are no names, just stars. That is the first lesson. You die for this place and you do not get a statue. You get a geometric shape. You get erased. The recruiter standing next to you clears his throat. He is wearing a suit that costs more than your car. He smiles, but the smile does not reach his eyes. He asks if you are ready. You nod. You think you are ready. You have no idea. The first step is not a gun. It is a chair. You are strapped into a polygraph machine in a windowless room in Northern Virginia. The air conditioning hums like a dying insect. A man with a monotone voice asks you about your debts, about your sexual history, about the time you stole $5 from your mother's purse when you were 12. They do not care about the money. They care about the shame. They are harvesting your shame. They need to know they can own you. They need to know that if you ever run, they have the leverage to destroy you without firing a single bullet. You answer every question. The needle on the paper scratches back and forth. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It sounds like a knife sharpening. You pass. You are now property of the United States government. Welcome to the farm. Camp Peary. The trees are tall and the fences are higher. This is where your old self comes to die. You stop being a person with a name and a social security number. You become a student of the shadows. They teach you how to drive a sedan through a roadblock at 60 miles per hour. You feel the tires screech, the smell of burning rubber filling the cabin, the adrenaline spiking in your veins. It feels good. It feels like power. Next comes the lockpicking, then the surveillance detection. You spend hours walking around a mall in Williamsburg, tracking a target without being seen. You learn to blend in. You become gray. You become boring. You learn that the best spy is not the one in the tuxedo holding a martini. The best spy is the one nobody remembers seeing. Then comes the SERE school. Survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. This is not a game. They beat you. They starve you. They blast heavy metal music into your cell for 3 days straight until your mind starts to fracture. They put a bag over your head and pour water over your face until your lungs scream for air. You panic. Your body thrashes against the restraints. You think you are going to die in this dark, wet room, and in a way, you do. The civilian part of you drowns in that water, the part that believed in fairness, in rules, in mercy. That part dies. When they finally pull the bag off, you are gasping for air, shivering on the concrete floor. You look up at the instructor. He is not smiling. He says, "Welcome to the Brotherhood. You are now a paramilitary officer. You are the tip of the spear. Your first deployment is not to a war zone. It is to a hotel room in a city you cannot pronounce. You are meeting a warlord, a man who has killed more people than cancer. Your job is not to arrest him. Your job is to give him a suitcase. You open the case. It is filled with stacks of $100 bills, blue strips. The smell of fresh ink is intoxicating. The warlord smiles. He has gold teeth and eyes like a shark. You shake his hand. His hand is rough and warm. You suppress the urge to vomit. You are funding a monster to fight other monsters. This is the great game. You tell yourself it is for the greater good. You tell yourself that the ends justify the means. But deep down, you feel a crack forming in your soul. A tiny hairline fracture. Fast forward 3 years. You are now deep cover. You are a ghost. You operate in the denied areas, the places where the map is blank. You are in a safe house in Yemen. The dust covers everything. It tastes like copper and ancient dirt. You are cleaning your weapon, a Glock 19 with a threaded barrel. You do not exist here. If you are caught, the government will deny any knowledge of your actions. You are alone, totally and completely alone. The radio crackles. It is the signal. A high-value target has been located. A localized thunderstorm is approaching. That is the code. It means kill. You check the chamber, 1 round, brass casing, lead tip. The solution to a complex geopolitical problem packaged in 9 millimeters of metal. You put on your night vision goggles. The world turns green and grainy. You step out into the night. The heat hits you like a physical blow. You move through the alleyways. The silence is heavy. It presses against your eardrums. You can hear your own heartbeat. Thump, thump, thump. It is slow. Too slow. You are not scared. That is what scares you. You should be terrified, but you feel nothing. You are a machine. You kick down the door. The sound is deafening. Shouting, screaming. A man reaches for an AK-47. You double tap. 2 shots to the chest. He falls. The room smells of cordite and iron. You check the pulse. Nothing. You look at his face. He looks young. Too young. You search the room. You find a phone. You find a laptop. You take a picture of the body. Proof of work. You walk out. You vanish back into the shadows. You go back to the safe house. You wash your hands. You scrub them until the skin is raw. But the phantom sensation of the blood remains. You open a beer. It is warm. You drink it anyway. You stare at the wall. You wonder if anyone back home is sleeping peacefully because of what you just did, or if you just added more ghosts to haunt your dreams. Level up. You are now a handler. You sit in an office in the embassy. You wear a suit again, but under the suit you are scarred. Your skin is a map of violence. You manage assets now. Spies, traitors. You convince a nuclear scientist to sell out his country for a visa and a bank account in Switzerland. You sit across from him in a cafe. You drink espresso. It is bitter. He is sweating. He shows you the blueprints. You smile. You tell him he is doing the right thing. You tell him he is a hero. You are lying. He is a tool, a disposable wrench to loosen a bolt in the enemy machine. And when the wrench breaks, you throw it away. One night, the phone rings. It is 3 in the morning, the secure line. A red light blinks in the darkness of your office. You pick it up. It is the scientist. He is whispering. He says they know. He says there are men outside his door. He is crying. You can hear his wife sobbing in the background. You tell him to stay calm. You tell him the extraction team is 5 minutes out. You are lying again. There is no team. You called the chief of station 10 minutes ago. He looked at the budget. He looked at the risk assessment. He said, cut him loose. He said the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You are not a savior. You are an accountant of death. You listen. You hear the door smash open. You hear shouting in a language you understand too well. You hear a single gunshot, then silence. You hang up the phone. You type a cable to headquarters. Asset neutralized. Operation closed. You go to the bathroom and throw up. The years blur together. You move up the ladder. You are a senior officer now. You sit in meetings at Langley with men who have never held a gun. They talk about strategy. They talk about national interests. They use words like collateral damage. You look at their soft hands. You look at their expensive watches. You want to grab them by the tie and smash their faces into the table. You want to scream that collateral damage has a name. It has a face. It has a family that will never stop looking for it. But you do not scream. You nod. You take notes. You are a professional. You have become one of the suits, the very thing you hated. You realize the company is a machine that eats idealism and shits out cynicism. Then comes the day. The paperwork is signed. The badge is handed in. You are retired. You are 45 years old, but your eyes look 60. You have a pension. You have a nice house in the suburbs. You have a wife who loves you but doesn't know you. She thinks you were a logistics analyst. She thinks you move boxes. She doesn't know you move bodies. You go to the grocery store. You stand in the cereal aisle. The choices overwhelm you. Fruity Loops or cornflakes. It is absurd. You have decided who lives and who dies, but you cannot decide on breakfast cereal. You look at the people around you. They are laughing. They are texting. They are oblivious. They are sheep. Happy, ignorant sheep grazing in a field that you kept safe from the wolves. They will never know the cost of the grass they stand on. Nighttime is the hardest. The silence is too loud. You lie in bed staring at the ceiling fan. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It sounds like a helicopter blade. You close your eyes and you see faces. The warlord, the scientist, the kid in the alley. They are all standing at the foot of your bed. They are not angry. They are just watching, waiting. You reach under your pillow. Your hand finds the cold steel of your personal firearm. It is comforting. It is the only thing that feels real. You realize you never left the war. The war just followed you home. It sits in your living room. It eats at your dinner table. It sleeps in your bed. You are a ghost now. You walk through the park and see a young man reading a book about espionage. He looks excited. He thinks it is romantic. He thinks it is an adventure. You want to walk over and tell him the truth. You want to tell him that there are no heroes in this game, only survivors. You want to tell him that patriotism is just a word they use to get you to pull the trigger. But you walk past him. You say nothing. Because that is the job. The job is silence. The job is secrets. You are the keeper of the dark. You go home. You walk into the bathroom. You look in the mirror. The face staring back is a stranger. The eyes are hollow. You turn on the tap. You wash your hands. For a second, just a split second, the water looks red. It swirls down the drain like liquid rust. You blink. It is clear again. Just water. You dry your hands on a white towel. You turn off the light. Darkness returns. And in the darkness, you finally feel at home. Because in the dark, nobody can see the blood on your hands. Not even you.